So now I'm with Milan Felberbaum, who's the Automotive Development Director with Novelis. Good morning, Milan. Good morning. Would you like to start by telling us about Novelis' activities?
Yes, of course. So Novelis is the leading producer for aluminium flat roll product, and we are the world's largest recycler of aluminium. We are a global company. We are in South America, North America, Asia, and Europe, and we supply and develop innovative solutions for the automotive market, for the aerospace market, for the specialties, and for the beverage can industry. Sustainability is really at the core of our business. I mentioned we are the world's largest recycler. And I want to also mention that Novelis is a subsidiary of Hindalco, which is the flagship company of the Aditya Birla Group, which means that we are part of a very large group which brings a certain stability, which is super important nowadays.
And your ambition is carbon neutrality in aluminium production, I believe.
Yes, of course. So as a global company, our target is to be carbon neutral by 2050. And we have a milestone in 2026 where we want to achieve 30% reduction. And to get there, it's very simple. If you look at our scope 1, 2, and 3 emissions, the scope 3 is 90% of the emissions. And scope 3 for us is the primary metal. So we need to replace the primary metal with recycled content so that we will decarbonize. And to do that, we are doing two main things. There are two main levers, I would say. One of them is to develop new product, innovative product that can absorb a lot of recycling content, so different source of scrap, I would say. Still having the right performance for the automotive OEM. So product design and product development is a key aspect. But also then working on enabling the end-of-life vehicle to come back and working really in circularity so that we can achieve carbon neutrality.
And what are the main challenges that you see to achieving carbon neutrality?
So one challenge, I would say, is the image of green prime. So yes, green prime or low CO2 prime brings lower CO2 footprint, yes, but it doesn't solve the problem because you are still mining, you are still having residual of alumina, you are still using the same amount of energy. Yes, the energy comes from your renewable energy, but you still need a tremendous amount of energy. While if you are focusing on recycled content, then you will reduce the energy. You will have almost no biodiversity impact. So it's much more sustainable, but it's more difficult, right? If you have a circular solution, it's more difficult compared to a linear solution. And this is why I think the second biggest, let's say, challenge is this cross-industry collaboration, because we need to develop this ecosystem so that we have us developing new alloys, the recyclers that are sorting the scrap so that they can feed us with good quantity and quality of scrap, and finally the OEMs that are designing their products for end of life. So the legislative framework clearly plays a key role by setting the right incentives. And I think one of and we discussed about it yesterday, about the export of scrap, right? We really need to stop exporting scrap out of Europe because we need to work on the circularity concept. So having aluminium as set as critical raw material is for us important, and we think it's critical to do that. On the other hand, we need also to have some target of recycled content in the automotive industry, but we also need to reward them because they really put an effort to develop their thinking into product design and design for end of life, again, to enable circularity.
Right, so you support the adoption of standards, in fact, for the industry for recycled content.
Correct. So in terms of recycled content, I think we need to be very specific, because, you know, if you look at the standard, if you look at the norm, there is room for interpretation, and this is never good, because then it's not really transparent. So this is why at Novelis we think that we need to link very clearly the recycled content to the primary aluminium. And if you take the simple equation, recycled content equals 1 minus primary aluminum divided by the shipments, so that you leave the runaround scrap on the side, then you have really a very simple equation where you focus on decarbonizing, which is minimizing the primary aluminum. And then you have really a simple tool. And if you have a simple tool like that, it's clear, it's transparent, and this will really, I think, enable circularity to, in the end, achieve carbon neutrality.
And why was it important for Novelis to come to the Automotive Recycling Conference this year?
Well, I think it's quite clear that we cannot do that alone, right? We absolutely need to have collaboration. We need to develop strategic collaboration with partners, with recyclers. In the past, we were focused on the OEMs, on our customers. And now, because it's a circular supply chain, we really need to discuss with the recyclers. We need to discuss with the scrap sorting manufacturer and the technology providers. So it's really, and I think it's a fantastic event, because again, we had Renault yesterday, then we had a raw material supplier as well. You have people from the recycling, obviously, but also from the sorting. So it's, again, I think for us it's super critical to develop this collaboration so that we develop this ecosystem for circularity.
Okay, well, I wish you lots of great contacts at the conference, Milan. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.